Hey, welcome back to A Faster Me. This is another video, just some weekend training. This is the Montrose long route, and we're starting off here at the split. So this is up Cerritos where it splits into Gladstone, and yeah, just 4 weeks away from race season. So yeah, it's time to start putting in some harder efforts. It's still early in the season, but we have we're gonna go out to Valley of the Sun this year, so that's about 8 weeks away. So yeah, it's time to start putting in some harder efforts. Just Valley of the Sun's a big stage race. Even though it's early in the season, we'll probably reset after that and take a little time and then gear up for the main season. But anyway, yeah, we've been doing a couple weeks of threshold right now. This week we had 3x15, so the legs are pretty dead already. And for some reason, people are always trying to poke the bear out here. And, you got some heavy hitters in the ride, like always. And anytime you got people showing up, like from Legion, there's always some guys that kind of, antagonize them or whatever. And then they decide to punish everybody. So this is one of those days. And from about Gladstone on, the pace was really hot. So it's kind of chill right now. I wouldn't say chill, but it's a good pace right here. But you'll see in a second, it's going to get really hot, especially this road here. Gladstone is a false flat, and it reaches maybe up to 3%, as you can see there, but most of it's about 1 or 2%. But at pace, it's pretty taxing. So, I'm out here with the crew. Got Joe right there to my right, moving up in the PAA kit. He's going to race for me this year for a Faster Me. You got Marlena in front of him, my wife Ellen, and then we're out here with Jacko as well. And then I got Camilla Arenas out here from LABA. And yeah, it's pretty hot. As you can see now, we're pretty deep in the draft here. I should be getting a fairly good draft. And you can see I'm going to be fluctuating between 300 and 400 and something watts. So if I'm doing that, the guys on the front are hitting about 400, a steady high 300s or low 400s like the whole way. So yeah, and it's a good draft. It's a decent draft. We're doing over 25 miles per hour. So at 25 miles per hour, a group like this, we're punching a pretty big hole. It's a good group too this weekend. I think we started with probably close to like 80 riders or so. And then at the split, maybe about 50 went long, and probably the other 30, 40, because we pick up riders as we go. So we may have started with about 80, but the group probably reaches somewhere near 100 somewhere along the route. So as you can see, we got some people going backwards now, and that's going to be a steady stream on this road here. We're going to pretty much catch every green light, so there's no stopping for the most part. And I needed a light. I needed a red light, So there's Marlena right there to my left in the black and purple. I think that's Sherry from Serious Cycling over to her left. It's good to see her out here as well. And then that's Camilla in front of me. And Camilla, I'm just so proud of her. She is just super strong. I've said it before, but we've been working together for just over, I don't know, almost 2 years now, a year and a half. And yeah, she's just so competitive, so strong. She did a great job today as well, and had the KOM for a second, or QOM, had the Montrose QOM, I think, from the split to Sierra Madre. So that alone tells you the pace is pretty hot. So, but as you can see, people are still going backwards. I've never gotten dropped on Gladstone before, and there's a first for everything. So yeah, today I didn't have it in me, and I think we had Corey Williams and Jason Paez up front, along with Tony. I forgot Tony's last name, Tony from Lost Dog, I believe it is. But they are all pushing the pace up front, and it was pretty hot. Like I said, if I'm in the draft doing 250 to 400 watts off and on, they're killing it up front. And you can see, this is all uphill. This is not downhill. This is not flat. It's all uphill, and the pace is just hot. Yeah, and like I said, there's Camilla there. I just got through talking to her, and it's like, you think it's good, and you got a second. Normally if you've done Montrose a lot, it's usually stoplight to stoplight, and you always just figure like, okay, yeah, it's only gonna be like 1 minute more of this, but like I said, we caught every light, and for the most part, it's just some, I don't even know what to call them. I would say over unders, but they're not really over unders for me because I got a low FTP, so it's pretty much just somewhat of a VO2 session for me. Yeah, anything over 250 for me is pretty hard, or at least I won't be doing it much more than, let's say, 5 minutes or so. And again, it may not look like much because you can see my watts aren't that high. 300 watts for some people, that's 300 watts is kind of like the fast person standard. You know what I mean? Like everybody 300 watts and over, you pretty much consider them fast if that's like their threshold. But like I said, if I'm doing this drafting back here, guys up front are just really putting the hammer down. So here we let that little gap open up. Unfortunately, people were going backwards and this gap opened, and it is definitely hard to close. You see my heart rate's at 186. So for steady efforts, that's pretty high for me. I typically only get above that on sprints. Um, so yeah, I'm struggling here, and Marlena is struggling a little bit too. You'll see like in a second, she's gonna be looking at me like, "Hey, I don't have anything left." Like, if you don't close it, it's not getting closed. Look at her. She's like, "No, I'm done." And I told her, basically I'm done too, but we'll still put in the little effort to try to close it up. Luckily, we get a couple guys to go by us, so extend that draft out just a little bit here. But honestly, I'm done. I need a little recovery. Need a red light to hit. Heart rate's up pretty high. I think I was a little underfueled today too. Didn't eat breakfast or anything, and didn't have a good dinner last night or the night before. I was out all day on a job, and I think I was just a little tired, a little underfueled because I didn't really have much, and my heart rate didn't continue to rise. It hit about 186, which is good. I mean, that's high enough, but normally I can get into the 190s, and I just kind of didn't have anything left, so it felt like I bonked a little bit. So yeah, anyway, right here, I made a little mistake. The light is red up there, and I kind of took my concentration down for a second, and then the light turned green, and I started to accelerate, and yeah, I didn't have much here, and now that gap is way too big for me unless I put in. I'd have to basically sprint to catch it, and yeah, I was kind of pop city here, and anyway, jump back here. We're at Hammer Alley. So now we're at Hammer Alley, and like nothing stopped. Nothing stopped. This was everybody still had the hammer down here, and this is again another false flat. Just about a 2 minute effort, and it's just another VO2 session basically. 2 minutes of VO2. Again, good speed. You can see we're almost at 4%, still doing 24 miles per hour. Montrose is just a great training ride, if you go long. If you go short, it's not really that difficult. Short until you get into like Sierra Madre, Winston area, it's not really that difficult. But when you go long, just because of these punchy climbs that we have, that's Brian right there from Go Fast. He's just going backwards a little bit, but it's great to see him out here. A couple years ago, Brian had a pretty bad crash where he pretty much destroyed his knee. His knee basically exploded, and he was out for a long time, had a long rehab. So it's good to see him back out here, and hopefully you get to see him racing again this year. Really strong rider, has a good sprint on him. So yeah, it's just good to see him out here coming back from that knee injury. You can see here I'm pretty much in the red again, a steady 350 to 400 watt effort. It is fast though, and I did PR this section. I think I did it in like 207 or something. Nothing to brag about or anything, but it's just a fast little. I don't even know how long it is, but 2 minute VO2 effort basically. And it's good to see, every you can tell that the season's coming, that racing's going to be in a few weeks just because of the numbers and the type of efforts people are doing now. That's Jack right there to my right in the blue with the old PAA kit on. You got Scott over there to the left. I see his helmet just barely peeking in. Here's a crucial part too. When you finish Hammer Alley, you gotta stay on the gas here. You can see I'm letting off a little bit, but you gotta stay on the gas here because the speed just picks up so fast because it starts to go downhill a little bit. And this is a spot where you can easily get detached here. And you see that's Brian again. He was going backwards on Hammer Alley, but he made his way back up to the front, and that's what you kind of need to do, is save a little bit for that exit of Hammer Alley. So here we're just about done with the ride. I don't know how many miles we did, 50 miles, 40 something miles. We're just about done, heading back, and we always do some little sneak attacks. So I got Marlena and Mark and everybody here on this little group. Some of them are behind us still, like Mark's still behind us. And I know Marlena was just waiting to launch a sprint, trying to attack here. So I'm just kind of staying ready a little bit and see if I can defend the sprint whenever it comes to it. This car, for whatever reason, in front of us, it kept like speeding up and slowing down and speeding up and slowing down. Not exactly sure why. It's just sometimes people see bikes and they kind of don't know how to react. The one thing I will say is we should never be going on both sides of cars. And you'll see here like some people on both sides. We should really never do that. Just if a car makes a left like it did right there, that can be a disaster. I saw Mark try to come up and sprint and Marlena, so I just launched a quick sprint. And then when I turned back, I see that I kind of countered their attack right there. Just got the jump on them, and so they shut it down, and I just shut it down. So, but anyway, yeah, it's a good route today. Good workout. The pace was hot. Like I said, anytime you get Legion and some of the other strong teams out or guys out, there's always some of the local guys that want to try to attack them or, irritate them. And if you do that and they're up to it, they're going to punish the group. And, today they kind of punished the group, but at least on on Winston and on Gladstone, all that, it was pretty hot. So anyway, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.